Hi, my name is Jamie, and I hail from Southeast Asia, in Malaysia to be precise, a multiracial country, a country which have a lot of diversity, a country where we have a lot rich in our culture, but yet poor in our journey about life, meaning we actually have a lot of inhibitions growing up, where we are, as a Chinese Peranakan, we do not really necessarily have a means to share our experiences. I'm sure that applies to a lot of races in Malaysia too. Because we come from a culture of reservation, we don't talk about what is actually what we feel. So growing up, I remember being a girl, I was actually being silenced because the patriarch of the family is the one that actually makes the decision for us and decide what is actually the best for us. So regardless of what we feel, what we say, it doesn't matter. We don't have that way to connect. And sharing this, I'm also sharing about my experiences as to how I was traumatized as a younger person when I was abused, and how I was actually disregarded because I wasn't sure what I can do with that emotion. It was a raw feeling that I had to sit in for a long time. And having that, and also having points of my life where it was so bad, when I decided to hurt myself, I attempted suicide twice, and yet nobody spoke to me about it because they don't know about my story. And when my mom did come to know about it, and when I was in hospital, I was told that, come on, take it in. We don't want the press to have a field trip. That was what the exact words she said. So from that experiences, it made me felt that I'm shameful. I'm shameful to be able not to share my story, and let alone talk about my mental health, my well-being. Because in my culture, mental health is a taboo. We don't talk about it, especially when you're a girl, when you're a person who actually don't have a voice for it. There's no kind of a supported means, because everyone is like, oh, don't say about it, let's quiet. So you have to be like a taboo. So that was my understanding of mental health. Fast forward, when I actually came to California, I'm a religious worker. I came to take care of a property in upstate New York, and I was told that, this is my journey, and I was very grateful because I got a chance to do some spirituality. But when that term completed, I landed myself in California, and I was self-sufficient, I was able, but I didn't know my journey didn't really begin there. My journey actually really began is when I met my husband. My husband is a fellow San Franciscan. I met him in a Marine. I met him in a shelter where our romance grew. And, not long after we met, the mom asked us to get married. I was like, whoa, that was quick, but we got engaged. And as I got to know him a bit more, I realized he has, some challenges too. Like most of us, we all have challenges, right? So, that's my first experience of mental health. And, he had his first episode when I was with him less than a year into our marriage. And that was hard for me because I come from a culture that don't talk about it. So when you don't talk about it, how do you know what to expect? So overnight, I have to learn crash course, mental health 101. I have to go down to take, a lot of strides to get to know how to help him. Because when we are in our recovery, all I understand was that we actually given medication to make us feel better. But when I saw him going through what he gone through, I felt heartbroken because I know that's not how a journey of a person should be. I didn't marry a person to be struggling and always, to be in the bed, because to me, there's no way, not a quality of life that I want for anyone, let alone my husband. And because of that, I told myself I had to give in to do something I never done before. That is to be an advocate. I come from a place that I don't have a voice, so saying that means I cannot actually share my story. So now I have to be an advocate, which is a tall order for me, and to speak about what is actually important for him and me on this journey. So I learned from very, very early on that I need to speak for him, because when he is not the best version of himself, there's a lot of struggles he has to go through. So my journey becoming, how do I go down to get family support services, how to get things that would be helping him on his journey. So long story short, it was actually a lot of growing, a lot of really finding out and collaborating. And as I could progress, I found myself in alliance with a lot of people who are like myself. There's a lot of local organizations that I've been part of, like with MHASF, Buckaloo programs, like, organizations like NAMI. They all came together with me, have an intention with myself being part of it, to find common ways to how do we begin this process, to destigmatize mental health, to find ways to say that, hey, we do have a voice. We can make a change, not just for ourselves, but our loved ones, so that they won't be in struggling. So if that is the case, I told myself, I like to begin this route, because this is empowering, because I know this journey, it's not my journey alone. It's with all of you out there who find that there's no voice and there's no means. There is actually. It's whether you want to take this step to know that we can do this together. We can do it in a way that we can support and collaborate together. So now, years down the line since 2012, I'm now a peer support specialist. I'm certified. I took my license, and I actually learned about how I actually can be a better peer supporter to those who actually are like myself. Because I've been there. I can share with you my story now. I can share with you my advocacy, because this is an important part that we need to actually use our voice for. It's not just about only recovery, because recovery, as you all know better than me, is not linear. It's an ongoing process. So at this point, if you think that you need to find a way to help, to support someone that's dear to you or for yourself, think about it. You're not alone in this journey. I've been there. I came from somewhere who doesn't have a space for me, but I created my space. I come to this country from a place that I know there's abundance in opportunity. I utilize this as my strength. I use that as my medium, my voice to all. So if I can do this, I'm sure you can do much more better than me. What do you think? Would you like to begin this journey with me?